Braising is one of my favorite techniques to use on cuts of meat that are quite tough. It's best used when you want the skin to remain crispy, as the protein isn't fully submerged in the liquid and can be roasted after the braise is complete. Other than braising, we'll be learning how to make that glass-like shatter crunch that we all know and love from the humble pork belly. It's as simple as removing as much moisture as possible from the surface. However, some moisture will still be trapped underneath. When placed in a hot oven, this moisture turns into steam, puffing up the pork belly skin, which gives it that iconic bubbly surface. We'll also be learning how to make a cartouche, which is a lid made from parchment paper. This will come in handy not only when it comes to braising, but a ton of other applications. Lastly, we won't be seasoning our pork belly. Instead, we'll be using a soy-based braising liquid which will season the belly as it cooks, similar to how we didn't season our deboned chicken legs when we made our teriyaki dish. So with all that being said, let's begin. So here's our beautiful slab of pork belly. Now you'll want yours to have a nice thick layer of fat over top, which will make for a glass shattering crunch that's infamous with pork belly. As we turn the belly over, we see that the grain runs vertically like so. And the side profile showcases what may look familiar, and that is bacon, which is a result of the pork belly being thinly sliced. And after our braise, we'll be making diamond angled slits on the fat, and this will help our salt penetrate, removing excess moisture so we can get it nice and crispy. Next, we'll create the cartouche for when we braise our pork belly. With a square piece of parchment paper, fold one opposite corner to the other, making a triangle. Now sometimes there will be some excess overhang, simply cut to remove with your knife. Next, we'll fold the top corner towards the bottom right corner, and this will create a smaller triangle. Finally, we'll fold once again to make an even smaller triangle. So you'll have a corner which opens up completely and another corner that only opens from the side. And this is the corner we're interested in. Next, we'll place the tip of our cartouche to the center of the cooking vessel we're using, then we'll make a crease against the rim so that we know where to cut the excess. We'll then cut around the crease. And lastly, we'll snip off the tip. And here's our cartouche. This little hole will help excess steam to escape and is important when braising. Next, in our sauté pan, we'll add 1/8 of a cup of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of mirin, 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce, 1/8 of a cup of sake, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and 1/8 of a cup of water. We'll then whisk to combine. We'll then add a smashed clove of garlic and smashed piece of ginger. We'll also add 1 cup of chicken stock. I'll then place my pork belly in the center and I'll pour a little more stock so it's 1/2 inch from our layer of fat. This is crucial because when braising, we don't want the protein to be fully submerged. We'll simmer our braising liquid, and as you can see, the belly is beginning to cook. I'll place the cartouche over top and continue to simmer this for 2 hours. In the meantime, I'm making a celeriac and apple puree. So in a saute pan, I'm simply sweating some sliced celeriac and apple, combining some chicken stock, and simmering until they can easily disintegrate when pressing with a fork. I'll place in a blender with a small amount of white wine vinegar, then blitz until smooth. And there's our puree. After 2 hours, we'll remove the cartouche as well as our pork belly. I'll then strain the sauce into a small saucepan. Now I really love this sauce, it's absolutely delicious, so we'll save it for later. Now next, I'm going to make diamond cut slits along the fat. And I've noticed here there's some hair that hasn't been burned off by the butcher, so I'll simply use some fishbone tweezers to remove before continuing. Now your slits should penetrate the fat but not be too deep where it meets the flesh. When stretching, they should be visible like so. I'll then cover this with salt and let it sit uncovered in the fridge overnight. The next day, the salt has done its job, so we'll simply brush off what remains. I'm now going to roast the belly, so on a rack, I'll wedge a piece of tinfoil under the belly so it can sit nice and flat. I'll then place in a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes. And there's our beautiful crispy pork belly. I'll cut into small portions using a sharp slicer. And when slicing, you'll need to be quick and swift. Now look how juicy this came out. I'll plate the pork belly, then the puree on the opposite side. I'll spoon over the sauce in the center, and there's our braised pork belly with a crunchy shatter in your mouth skin. And the belly was super tender, and the celeriac and apple with the umami rich sauce married really well with the pork. Now when it comes to any protein and getting crispy skin, moisture is the enemy, and once it's removed, it'll make all the difference. Try this technique on fish, chicken, and duck, and always pat dry before roasting or searing. Now that we covered braising, in the next lesson, we'll be diving into its not so distant cousin, stewing, and what better than rabbit. Bye for now.